Jerry Judy is becoming the NFL's Terry Rozier. He's, a little overly flashy considering the tier of player that he is. It's just a chaotic mess. And now he's picking fights with the best quarterback that they have on roster after being a huge part of selling the game. Now, technically, the punt team and the punt return team of the Cleveland Browns sold the game for, Shedeur and Myles Garrett and all these guys. But Jerry Judy, I would say he's second in line right after the punt teams. Let's get into it.
When we got in certain passing situations and field position, everything like that, it wasn't the best. It wasn't the best. It was a comfort level. I think, like as players and as teammates, we have to be able to gel with each other and be comfortable with each other in every situation. That takes time. That takes a lot of things. So, this team is not gonna be a microwave thing. We're gonna have sparks. We're gonna have here and there, but it's gonna take time to be able to develop that chemistry with everybody, to be on the same page with Jerry. Of course, we want to be able to get on the ball, but you gotta understand it take time. I'm more of a trust person.
Shedeur Sanders came into this offseason not sure if he would make the roster, and he will not be reprimanded, as he shouldn't, for saying, I'm not sure if I can trust what should be the team's number one wide receiver. Yeah, what should be is the keyword, should.
And that's just what it boiled down to. So we had to spend time on task and with all those guys and be able to trust and be able to see things at the same lens. A lot of time out there, I would say, passing-wise, we're not seeing everything at the same lens, or guys, certain guys aren't in the same spot that we see when we practice. Spot, I'm saying, like, who lined up where, if you put Jerry on this side, Jerry on this side, like, we just got to just be comfortable and just make everything consistent.
How do you balance?
All right, so I have a few problems with things that Jerry Judy, did on the field today on Sunday, November 30th, the last day of the month. Basically, if you put Isaiah Bond on that same deep route in the first quarter that Scary Jerry he jogged on, and he never put his hands out for the ball, despite the ball being thrown within arm's reach. And I'll show you what I mean in a second. But that ball was a catchable ball, in my opinion. I know the commentators, they had their opinion on it in real time, but I had mine. As soon as I saw that play happen, I said, oh no. This plus the Raiders incident last week, something's fishy. Now, to be fair, backup quarterbacks usually have more chemistry with third and fourth string receivers, especially in their first couple starts. Now, that's because, that's who they're getting practice reps with the most. If in Shedeur's case, we know up until this week of preparation that was done in a blizzard, that's the only receiving group that he had practice with is the third and fourth string receivers. So that's why we see a better connection with Shedeur and fellow rookie Isaiah Bond, somebody who wasn't sure if his career would be over or not coming into, But anyways, that doesn't excuse how bad Jeudy has been playing. He's starting to look like the NFL's Terry Rozier out there, as I said, where we're not sure if he's, fixing games, fixing prop bets in particular, not necessarily trying to throw the game, but trying to go under that yardage. The Vegas one, I think he went like a half. He was the hook, right? A lot of people who picked the over on his yards lost on the hook. He only needed one more yard, and that fumble screwed it over or something like that. And today, November 30th, against the San Francisco 49ers at home, at the Cleveland Browns home field advantage, snowy, icy environment, he was set at like 24.5 in a lot of places. And, all speculation, this is alleged. This whole video is allegedly, by the way. But it just looked like to me that he was trying to stay under 25 yards. That's what it looked like to me. And that catch alone would have put him at more than 25 yards. That was about to be a touchdown on top of that. And, I want him investigated. There might have been a little $10,000 bet over here, or this amount of bet over here on the under. You know, maybe he thought it wouldn't look that sketchy. It's a snow game. It's against the 49ers, who are historically a good defensive team, especially with Robert Saleh back. And, you know, props to Shedeur. I feel like Shedeur played a very solid 3.5 quarters of football against one of the best defensive minds in the game right now. But yeah, let's get into this clip. All right, so again, it's the first quarter, 3rd and 5, and watch here as Jerry Judy runs a clean, kind of slow but clean route, gets wide open, but the ball is just out of reach, right? No, I don't think so. So Jeudy, if he would have turned his hips towards the end zone while keeping his eyes on the quarterback like he's trained to do, then guess what? It's an easy touchdown. The ball was thrown good enough for that, but the mechanics by Jeudy were terrible. He keeps his hips facing the sideline instead of running forward. He's running at an angle. Watch closely. Which naturally running sideways is going to be slower than running straight, or as close to straight as possible. And, he never even bothered to put his hands out to even attempt to breadbasket the ball. He's supposed to be tracking that ball with his body under it, and then at the last moment, he's supposed to put his hands out to catch the ball. And if you drop it once you make contact, okay, fine. If you have to stretch out a little bit, you stumble, okay, fine. You guys get the critical first down plus some extra yards. But you don't even attempt to catch the ball is disgusting. Now, for those of you that may not believe what I'm saying, let's watch this breakdown here, courtesy of First Down Training, studying Davante Adams. He was studying Davante Adams' body control in a similar scenario where he was breaking down exactly what I just explained.
And this is wide open in the NFL, especially when you got a quarterback like Rodgers. This is wide open. So we got to make sure that we come down with these catches. And
look at those nice square hips. Pause. But he's perfectly square.
We're consistent with this, so we keep getting these opportunities as a receiver. So when we're here and you see how this ball has to fade him to the outside, right? When we see that thing, we want to make sure that I'm fading my body. So many receivers don't struggle with this, and that's why they struggle catching over the shoulders, that they don't fade their body with the throw. They'll run and they'll run and they'll run, and they try to catch with their hands at the last second, and they have to move their hands way outside their frame this way. If you can get comfortable with fading your body, and that's why it's important to restack this guy so we're not hugging the sideline, and that's where the ball is going to take me, and it's a hard throw for the quarterback. We work to restack. We get back over the top of him with this release, right? You see how Adams comes off here. He's got his head down. But also your split matters because he's also from the slot here as well. So more so the restack matters if you're on the outside, so you're not just hugging the sideline. But when you're from the slot, you're running this slot fade. The ball should fade you to the outside anyways, but this is the tough part. This is what guys struggle with when it's a deeper throw downfield, is being able to actually fade their body and almost be like a center fielder. That's how you want to think of it, a center fielder in baseball.
Look at the mechanical difference. Davante Adams is using his neck to do what a neck is supposed to do. Swivel your head so that you could see what is behind or to the side of you. And the rest of his body is straight. He's keeping straight towards the end zone. This is that he has great body control, great route runner. That's why Davante Adams is who he is and why Jerry Judy is who he is. The thing is, Jerry Judy was way more highly regarded coming into the NFL. It's crazy what hard work will do.
This ball's hit. He's fading his body. He's moving his body to it, right? He's not stopping short and trying to catch with his hands. He's moving his body underneath the ball. How you can work on that is you maybe have somebody throw tennis balls to you. You're bouncing tennis balls off the wall. Like I was talking about that catching program, there's a lot of different drills that you have in there to work on that over-the-shoulder catch by yourself, right? So it's all about being able to get comfortable fading with the ball, moving your body with the ball, right? So now when your eyes, you want to see this thing hit your hands. You see how he's here? You want to see the ball hit your hands.
You see at the end of that, as the ball is descending, he sticks his hands out. Boom. Right on the fingertips. That was like photo perfect at the end there. Jeudy didn't even stick his hands out. So we don't know if it was actually overthrown or not. You don't look at where the ball hit the ground. That's going to look like it was 2-3 yards off. In reality, right after the high point in this case, since it's not a jump ball scenario, right after the high point, when that thing really starts to dive down, that's when Jeudy's hand should have been out. You shoot him out real quick and it just drops right in there. and then it's just reflexes at that point. Tuck it and run. Or if you're stumbling, just tuck it and fall. Survive the ground, it's a catch. But Jeudy's either really poor mechanically, which is hard to believe considering the pedigree of coaches he comes from, or he has ulterior motives. I don't know. Allegedly, he's looking a little Terry Rozier-ish to me. That's not necessarily a layup, but he's out here. He just missed a 3-pointer with bad mechanics when usually he doesn't have bad mechanics. But to be fair, I get that Jerry Judy, he can only be compared to Devontae Adams if Jeudy is playing against the Broncos, fresh off being traded, for some snow tires and a bag of chips. But in that same video I played right there, he also ends up showing Deontay Johnson. If you haven't seen that gem of a video, go and check that out when this video is done. But yeah, he showed Deontay Johnson executing this exact same concept. So, anyways, with example 1 out of the way, let's move on to a play that's equally as disgusting. It went bad, and it's not getting as much attention as it should, in my opinion. So before we get into this 3rd and 10 failed screen, it's important to note that Shedeur had stopped targeting Jerry up until he was forced to do so. He was decently successful without Jeudy, and you see, with the screen, you have no other choice but to throw the ball to Jeudy. Thing is, Jeudy didn't want to gain too many yards, in my opinion, because he blatantly misreads the crucial blocking that makes this type of play work. Like a Pop Warner running back, he immediately takes the ball towards the sideline when the blocking had set up an alley for him. He's supposed to be reading 83's back and 19's back. Once 19 lost outside leverage, he was supposed to run off his back and right past number 59, who would have been picked up by the right tackle. But instead, his weird ass tried to outrun a corner to the sideline, completely ignoring how these blocks were set up. You see, he'd be hard to trust, right? I see why Shedeur said what he said. He literally ran right into the arms of the tackler. And, to top it off, he was responsible for the flag on this play. So the whole play was cooked anyways. But yeah, lastly, Mr. I get hawked down and fumble a yard before my prop bet hits, decided that he should complain to his rookie quarterback, who's already facing enough scrutiny as it is. But he decides to complain to him about how he's not getting targeted enough, or you're not throwing it accurate, whatever it was. I'm not exactly sure. But Shedeur Sanders, let me remind y'all, he statistically is the best deep ball thrower in college football history. Not just last season, but in the history of tracking deep ball percentages, the accuracy and the completions. He's the best to ever throw the deep ball last year, the year before that as a college player. Okay. So I don't think he's struggling too much with the deep ball. It's windy, it's cold. It gets windy and cold in Colorado too. There's a reason why he was projected to be the, top 3-4 quarterbacks off the board. There's a reason why he's supposed to be a 1st or 2nd round pick. It's because he has a golden arm. He can dot you anywhere on the field, and with pressure in his face. But I watched Shedeur at Colorado, and he also likes to find the hot hand or mismatch early on, and he goes back to them often throughout the game, which is good football. If they can't stop it, do it again. But if your receiver 1 is your biggest op, well, your new biggest op, it was the coach, now it's receiver 1. It's hard to move the chains. But hey, until next time, this was Just Sports. Peace.